You know Maureen, you know General Tom Kittler. What capacity are you in here tonight?
I'm here to drink your beer and eat your food. Thank you, thank you.
We've got Bob and Charlie, retired 78 check airmen who are big deals at engravers, DFW engravers. So glad they're here. Thank you, Bobby, for being here. You met John DeLue earlier, right? Safety and efficiency. Jeff Pricing, I asked about Miami earlier. Jeff, raise your hand. Say thank you. There we go.
Cheers, guys.
And he's our director of line ops. You know Captain Lori Klein. She's our managing director of training insurance standards. Thank you, Lori, for being here. Right behind her, Jim Crawford. Raise your hand. He is the bus lead training and standards captain. Mike Green, raise your hand. He's our director of training. Corey Glenn, you're going to speak to him later. He's our director of hiring. Okay, you'll want to talk to him. Moses, raise your hand. So we've got a class of 9 future PLM instructors out there. So we brought him in. Moses, raise your hand. You met Lynn. Jace, raise your hand. Mike, yours. Greg Clark is our project wingman lead. And I see Paul, Raina, and Stephen. They're SCTIs. Okay. Thanks for being here tonight. Captain Deborah Hecker, she's our senior manager of flight ops policies and procedures. Thank you. Right behind that is John. John is a PLM. Eric, have you met this group, Eric, already?
No, not this group.
Okay, not this group. Captain Kurt Schumacher, if you might remember him from the 7-3. He's our director of standards right now. Captain Jay Neerland, 7-3, fleet captain, training and standards. Who's hiding back there? John Molitor, raise your hand. John, thank you. He's our HCC. When do you talk to him, John?
Tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow, DFW HCC. He's going to crack the code on that for you. You know Glenn Parenta's back there. All right, I think that's almost everybody, all right? All right, so listen, I promised a toast. So it's at the end of this, okay, so just hang on. But I'm going to say that there might be an exception here in the hangar tonight, but for most of us, checking out as captain at American Airlines has us at the peak or pinnacle of visible leadership in our professional work lives. I know that was true for me back in the day when Carl Price gave me my wings back in Chicago. Nothing that came before that, Air Force or otherwise, nothing that's come after that, chief work or otherwise, was quite as important or quite as special as that leadership moment. I'm guessing the same is true for you. So just very quickly, a thought about leadership, a thought about legacy. Leadership first, I want you to take everything you've ever been taught about leadership, every great captain, every great leader you've ever worked with or followed, every not so great captain, every not so great leader you've ever worked with or followed, anything connected to leadership, and distill it down into the parts and pieces that resonate with you and inspire you, and make those your personal leadership principles. And then take your core personal values, those things you stand on, those things you stand for, the non-negotiables in your life, those core values together with those leadership principles, and be intentional about the kind of captain you're going to be. All right? Don't do it right now, don't do it tonight, but reflect on it, if you will. And then secondly, I like to talk about legacy. There's a law of legacy. If you didn't know it, it has 3 parts to it. The first is we're all going to leave a legacy. The only difference is some of us are going to leave intentional legacies, and some of us are going to leave unintentional or accidental legacies. A legacy you give no thought or consideration to, it's just a legacy that's not thought or considered. So be intentional about the kind of legacy. The second part is we have the ability with as much definition and clarity and detail as we want to define exactly what we want that legacy to be. If you want it to be a great captain of American, you can certainly do that however you dream, where you think that should be. But the third part is the most important. It's not enough to be intentional, it's not enough to have a great idea. You actually have to live the legacy. Every time you show up to fly, every time you fly, you have to be a great captain. Okay? So that's it, just a thought about leadership and legacy. And because I'm proud of you all and I want you to be successful, I've got one last bonus pro tip for you. Something to slip into your kit bag for that dark and stormy night when you've got a decision to make, you've got options on the table, and that's just to pause in the moment. Just ask yourself, what would a great captain do? And I promise you, within a moment of asking yourself that question, you'll know what a great captain should do. And I'll also make you this promise. If you're out in the field, out on the line, needing help doing what a great captain will do, I gave you my phone number. I told you to put your chief's flight leadership, MOC, duty pilots, dispatcher, get a hold of somebody and ask for help being a great captain in American Airlines, all right? So that's it. Let me grab my drink. I promised there was a toast to American Airlines' newest captains, to the leaders you are, the legacies you leave, and the great captains you're becoming. Congratulations.
Here, here.